Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. My philosophy has always been sexual development. And this is very important to understand because I know many people, they'll call me a dating coach or even put me in the same category as those PUA cats or something like that. But yeah, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But I'm gonna be very clear. And I've said this in some previous videos, I'm more of a sex coach. If you really look at my program, it's always been about sexual development. Indeed, the very first video I did was about how sex overcomes, being a sexual man, sexy man, actually overcomes the whole looks, money, and status thing. The very first video, and I'll put that in the description box. I'll put that, my very first video on YouTube. Now, of course, yeah, I can talk about other things, a variety of things. But if you were to look at my books, Nice Guys and Players, the main chapter in it was the sexual chemistry chapter. That was the main chapter. And I said that's the only real difference between a nice guy and a player. Because if a woman didn't find a nice guy, if a woman found a nice guy sexually appealing, he wouldn't be called a nice guy. He would be called Mr. Right. That's because that's ultimately what women want. They want that guy who got the nice guy traits, can take care of the bills, be kind to them, but they also want that man who's going to knock them out the box. And then, so that's the main chapter in my book, Nice Guys and Players. Indeed, when I talk about a man that called Mr. Goodbar, that's his main thing. He turns on a woman sexually. And then in my book, Sexual Chemistry, I go deeper. In my book, Meeting Attractive Women, if somebody read it, it's all about a man developing his sex appeal. And that's always been the thing, because my thing is this. I don't care if you cold approach, wait for choosing signals, sit in a corner eating your buffalo wings. A woman need to be turned on. Women need to be turned on sexually. I don't care what kind. You can think you got all the mouthpiece in the country, in the world. You can think you got all this money. No. They gonna look at you and say he can get it. They can look at you. I know other guys want to believe the other stuff. And if other stuff come in there, women using you for something else. It's just that simple. Like some guys think, well, if you got all this money and stuff, you can get that woman. Well, no, you're a trick to her. And well, I like doing the my bad stuff in my car. It comes off better. So the bottom line is, when a woman's looking at that guy, she needs to feel something. So even when I talk about body game, the body is the primary way a woman's turned on. I don't care what everybody say all this other stuff. She got to look at you and physically want you inside of her. She got to look at you and potentially have a little human being that resembles you. However the woman wants to look at, whether she wants to have the baby, whether she just wants pleasure, it still come down to that. I don't care whatever way you get there, it comes down to sex. Otherwise, it's just a platonic relationship. So that's on just one level. Just the man gets woman thing is just on one level. And let's be real. That's the biggest reason my book has been selling for 20 years. Even when there were years I wasn't even pushing it. I was pushing my other work. Because a lot of people don't realize my main thing is a writer. I have 3 works of fiction out there. I have 3 works of fiction, and I actually have more works of fiction that are just out of publication. That's my main thing. But everybody got into my relationship books. And it's primarily men. They were looking primarily to get laid. That's the thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's normal. It means that they're heterosexual, that they're normal. So that's what I'm primarily talking about. But if you look at my work, that's just one level. Anybody that's followed me has realized that I talk a lot, or heard me talk a lot, about sex transmutation. Now, That term was made famous by Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich. And I'm gonna say from a personal perspective, I told my private people who follow me privately why, the power of the sex transmutation and how I even got to this level. How I'm even making this video with the camera I'm making it with the microphones, with the lights around me, wearing the shirt I'm wearing. It was all on sex transmutation. It was just taking that same sexual energy and using it to build something else. And that's something I teach more privately. And really it's not even that deep. Because think about it, when you get that good and that fine woman, she'll back that butt dunk up and everything, what you do, you feel good. Put that same energy into whatever projects you want to make. See, a lot of guys see it the wrong way. It's like, no, that's an energized. Think about it. You get that fine woman. She got those nice shapely legs wrapped around your back. She up there stroking your ego. Shoot, you can go out and do whatever. In fact, I've always said, if a real like sexually attractive woman, like not just, and really sex appeal is bigger than just the looks, but she got the attitude and everything. She could probably raise up a homeless man to at least a point where he got a house, car, and everything else. But that's the secret of transmutation. But I don't get into that as much publicly. That's more private. I mean, on a basic level, it's the energy, but it's then how you use that energy and everything. And then also how you deal with the women. But if you look at like my on-demand videos, the ones that deal with the sexual energy, sex appeal, those are the main ones that sell. And that's important. And indeed, that goes beyond just man getting women. Let me say again, that goes beyond a man getting women or even the money thing. If we're talking about just relationships, let's be real. A lot of men just want a regular relationship. Relationships usually have a problem more on sex. People always say money, and that could be up there, but it's usually a sexual thing. Many marriages are sexless. I've seen the percentage listed as up to 40%. Now, I don't know what it is. I've seen 20%, up to 40%. The marriages are sexless. Indeed, during this whole COVID thing, the lockdowns, there were a lot of women, they didn't like being stuck in home with their husbands. And they definitely weren't having sex with them because it wasn't a baby boom like I had predicted, a baby bust. So those are very important things. So even just to maintain a relationship, because there's plenty of relationships they maintain, hey, bills being paid, dude is doing a good thing, but the woman, she just ain't turned on. And indeed, let's be real, as men know when they reason that they'll step out or want another woman, their women, their wives, girlfriends, whoever, ain't doing it for them in the bedroom. Because contrary to popular belief, a woman got to do more than just lay there and let him do his business. And trust me, on my women's channel, I let them know. I let them know. But that's always been my main thing, and I just want to make that clear. I just want to make that abundantly clear. See, a lot of people focus on all this other stuff, and it has its place. But at the end of the day, you gotta make a holler. At the end of the day, you gotta feel good about it. Let's be selfish for a second. A man gotta feel good about it. And let's be real out here. A lot of stuff is happening because men ain't getting the sex they want to get. Sex tourism, boom. The sex industry. Being rejected by a woman. Why you rejected because she ain't paying some bill or something? Or you rejected because she ain't gonna have sex with you? Let's think about it. So that's my main thing, and I wanted to make that clear. I want to make that clear. If somebody say they got a challenge against anything I say, okay, tell me what I say about sex is wrong. Tell me, please. Like I said, even body game. I can talk about the aesthetics, being a strong man or a cut man or this size, that size. It comes down to who a woman want to have sex with. And it's developing yourself to get your tribe. Because as I always say with the body, develop yourself to the point you can get you can attract women to you. As far as your body, because every woman likes a particular body type. That's why I say your tribe. Like some women like the slim dude, some women like the big dude. I've known women like dudes with big bellies. You know, all you had to do is figure out who feeling what you got. And then really, and people know I talk about this. I talk about this. In fact, I'll put a link to that particular video, satisfying women sexually. It's important what you do when you get in bed with them. And look, and before I even get there, a big issue with many men is actually their sexual confidence. Because I've lost track of how many times I'm doing a consultation and somebody talking about their damn dick size. And they concerned about it. They don't feel like, oh, it's big enough or whatever. And that's serious. And that's serious. And that's one thing. And then a lot, contrary to popular belief, a lot of men ain't confident what they can do once they're in the bedroom. And then you got another issue. Another issue is when men, have like some type of fear within them. And it's a deep subconscious fear with regard to sex, and it could come from some type of trauma. It could come from molestation. It could come from too much religion. So all these things are in there. All these things are in there. And my whole program is not only developing yourself sexually to get the women that you desire, but also to use that same energy and make the life that you want. And see, one thing, I'll use that like as an example, because I don't deal with theory. I don't deal with theory. I don't deal with theory at all. So I'm not an incel. I'm not an incel. So even at my age, my sex life is still active. And I'm making money. And I'm using this power, that sex transmutation, to put money in my pocket. And that's my program. Pure and simple. I wanted to share that. Understand where I'm coming from. That's why I don't get into a lot of arguments and all this other stuff. I'm like, whatever. Because, I've talked about the sexual shadow world. Let's remember something with women. What they do publicly and what they do privately and sexually are two different things, often contradictory. Often very contradictory. I deal more with let me put it another way. I've talked in the past about people have two different faces. They have a social face and they have a sexual face. Part of my thing is spotting a woman's sexual face and dealing with them on that level. Now, yeah, I can deal with them on that social face thing. Oh yeah, that's cool. But that's why a lot of times a guy is dealing with a woman, they clicking socially, but can't figure out why he can't take it further. You're not dealing with her sexual. You're not dealing with her sexual face, which is what she really wants. So that's my overall thing. Even if you go back and go through my archives, go through my videos, and even if I'm talking about something that don't seem like it has anything to do with women at all, there's still a sexual element because that's all around us. We can't get past that. All right? So that's my thing. That's my main thing. Need to make that clear. If you're going to call me anything, call me a sex coach. So, and especially, and like I said, I got about satisfying women sexually. I got a link for that on-demand video in the description box. And also that link for my very first video. Very, very first video. So anyway, that's all I got for now, y'all. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.